Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Jay Barry here, and I'm back with another video talking about some Armed Fantasia, giving the overview of what's to come with this game. And the reason why I'm doing this video because I'm super excited that a game like this I want to say coming back, but it's an entirely new franchise or new game. And in this video I'm going to be focusing only on Armed Fantasia because I'm more known when it comes to just like Wild Arms and that series, and this is like kind of like a spiritual successor of Wild Arms. Bloody Penny, what's called Penny Blood. I will be talking about that in a separate video, but this one I just want to focus on Armed Fantasia because this is the game that I'm more excited for. So what am I saying? What am I doing? What Jay Barry? So if you guys didn't know, the creators of Wild Arms, and I forgot the name of the creator of like the Penny Blood. I forgot his name. They pretty much, well, let me say right here, Japanese RPG veterans, Matsuko Machida and Akifumi Kaneko joined forces to create two amazing titles with a Western punk fantasy, Armed Fantasia, and a graphic horror, Penny Blood. So they pretty much had like a Kickstarter that was going for both of these games, and once I saw the article, once I saw the actual video, I was just like, what? When is this thing going to be going live? Because I'm going to support this right away. Growing up with a PS1, I've been a huge Wild Arms like fan, especially when it comes to like the first two games. I really loved. The third game I thought was good, but would I put it on the same level as far as love? I didn't, not necessarily love the third game, but the first two I definitely loved, especially the first one. Playing that game, and it's playing that now on the PlayStation Classics. I'm just like, damn, this is bringing back mad memories here. I remember this boss fight being super hard, as a kid. And with Wild Arms 2, how the transition was so grand, like in my opinion, because yes, you were still in Philgaia, but you wasn't really dealing with any type of like magic users or nothing like that. You was dealing with more like armed users. I forgot the name of like the organization that they called themselves, but it was just pretty much like everybody was embracing the arms, because in part one, arms itself was looking at like a sin, like if you take upon arms, like if you talk about it, it was neglected. And that's how the main character Rudy, he got kicked out of his hometown due to the fact of him taking up on the arm to save a kid in danger. And regardless of the town witnessing that, they still kicked him out because he was dealing with, he had an arm, and they looked upon that as like the worst thing in the world. But in part two, it was like a little bit more, it was still looked upon like that in a certain way, but this group was using the arms just to save the world. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the series a lot. I think that part one definitely, you can tell that it's a little dated as far as like gameplay mechanics. That's how RPGs were back then. But part two, I think part two, if that was to come out again, that would still hold up. Part three will still hold up because of the look. I think part three looked amazing. That was like the first like PS2 one, if I remember correctly. But there was so many Wild Arms games, and I'm not really counting the altered Code F, because that was pretty much like a a quote unquote remake to the first game, but just using like the graphical upscale of like Wild Arms 3 and things like that. They did add some system mechanics from Wild Arms 3 to you know, I mean from Wild Arms 2 to the remake, but it wasn't nothing like really significant outside of like the Crossfire stuff. But Wild Arm 4, I know I didn't finish Wild Arm 4, and part 5 I didn't really get into it because I was kind of dying down from the series there. But I always like held those 3 games like close to me. You know what I mean? Like, more so 1 and 2, but I always held those 3 games close to me. So seeing that we're getting a game like Armed Fantasia got me super excited. And then when I saw the trailer, which we're going to be looking at right now, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. This is everything I'm looking for in like a newly updated like Wild Arms type game. So we're gonna check out the trailer. Let's look at some stuff that we're going to be seeing here. Maybe some recurring stuff that, you know, typical Wild Arms games are going to have, that, you know, we can just point out, because there was a few of them there. And yeah, let's give our thoughts on this trailer, man. Then we're gonna look at the Kickstarter, because yes, it is fully funded. The game is it's pretty much funded now. They just having like their stretch goals, like New Game Plus and things like that. But we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over the characters and all that stuff. So, but here's the trailer that they have. If anybody missed it, I hope if this is something that, you know, is appealing to you, maybe you wanna, you know, back the Kickstarter, or, you know, you're just excited that the game is actually officially coming in the future. So hopefully this can, you know, bring a little spotlight to this game. And like I said, we're going to talk about Penny Blood like a different stream. So let's go. Let's check out this trailer, guys. Let's see what we get here. And yeah, let's go. It's looking beautiful, man. We're gonna have the trailer just running in the background, but man, just the visuals, from what I'm seeing here, the game looks very stunning. I'm loving the colors, you know, how the characters are drawn out, just how they look in the world. It looks super good. Yeah, I'm very excited from what I'm seeing here. You know, from this is the trailer. This is the actual announcement trailer. You know what I mean? And it looks really good. It looked like they're pretty deep in development too. You know, just showing up some of the battle system mechanics here. I'm loving the turn-based, you know, aspect as far as the visuals and everything that's popping here. And like I said, we're gonna break down some of the stuff that, you know, a typical Wild Arms game you know, would have. But just the look, the style, everything is just looking amazing. Like, yeah, this is definitely down you know, down my alley as far as what I will want in like a future Wild Arms game. But hey, we're getting a different game called Armed Fantasia, which it sounds and it looks really cool. It seemed like we're gonna have the same concepts of like a Wild Arms, you know, like the armed, you know, arms are, you know, a main focal point as far as story or some type of lore within the game. But we also have 2 different characters that, you know, they're technically not using arms. You know, we have one female using like a sword. Then we have another you know, gentleman here. I guess he's looking like he's the mage type character. But yeah, I'm like I say, guys, I am loving this. I am loving every bit of it. Let's pause right here as we get into the battle system here to see what we got going. So already we got 3 enemies being shown. It looked like each enemies have like a different positioning as well. Very common in Wild Arms. I don't know if they this far away like that, but you know you typically have their far enemies here and your close enemies are flying and whatnot. But this is an actual boss fight. So I love the indicators that's going on here. You know, saying boss is boss turn. Then next we're gonna have, you know, each individual character's turn, which we're gonna be talking about. We have here, this is Alicia. Then we have I think his name is Clid, something like that, Clid. And then we have Ingram here, which is a showing the turns as far as numbers wise. So don't get it confused as far as like, what's this number here? This is just saying, oh, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's giving you a nice preview to, you know, when the enemies are going to attack and when it's your turn is going to attack, giving me that Final Fantasy X vibe here within the battle system. But here's some common things that a Wild Arm game will pretty much have, and that's this force gauge here. So the force gauge is pretty much like your limit gauge. You know, if you played other, you know, RPGs or just like a Final Fantasy, think of the force like limit, like your limit gauge. So you use that. Once that fills up, there's going to be certain moves that's going to be unlocked. But with Wild Arms, depending on how, you know, how you fill up your force gauge, depends on, you know, what moves you can do or how strong your move will come out or whatnot. So you have different levels of your force gauge. So like, yeah, I remember like Rudy, he had like 4 levels of like, you know, his force gauge where he does his lock on ability, where he can use any of those arms ability, and if you have that lock on, it's just like, man, it's going to do some damage you know, on the enemies. The one thing I'm not seeing though, like a typical Wild Arms will have, is like, you know, the conditions. So Wild Arms have like conditions as far as like your luck or anything like that. So you have like green condition, it will show like, you know, average or bad, and that always depends on like, you know, any type of critical hits, any type of like force gauge you will earn, you know, things like that. There's other things that it goes towards, but I don't really see anything indicated here as far as like a condition level like a typical Wild Arms or the original would have here. But overall, I'm liking the overlay here as far as the turn-based systems. Characters placement looks pretty cool. Nothing too intrusive here where it's just blocking you. Oh, I'm saying 3 enemies. It's actually 4 up here. This one blended in so good. You know what I mean? Nothing too intrusive to block you as far as, oh, I can't see anything. It just have a cool stylistic look to it. And Alicia looks really, really cool here. Let's be honest with you. Let's go a little bit more because we're going to see the force gauge go up to level 3. And so far, it looks like it's only going to go up to like 3 levels. So, you know, however you take that, we'll see. So yeah, as the camera moves on, let's see as it misses. So there might be some you know, some type of condition system in there, because typically when you have like a condition pretty high or is in green, you know, you're more susceptible to like dodge and attack. We've seen him do that, but sometimes it will happen. It's very RNG wise, but sometimes it will happen in ours. But he dodged it here, which all these characters look really, really cool. And here's an order chain. Is this like the cross system? Yeah, pretty much. You know, like, so like Wild Arms, I think it's like 2. No, it was 3 that had this system in here where you can just, you know, have the cross where everybody just attack to just give more and more damage, kind of like a cross attack or like a team up attack kind of thing within the game. But it doesn't use the force gauge or nothing. So what else are they showing here? All right, they show Alicia getting a hit. Okay. Force break. Well, this edited. This is probably edited. But no, it looks like he's gonna interrupt. Ingram is gonna interrupt. Is everyone sharing the same force gauge? Which is interesting. You know, because nobody usually typically share the same force gauge here. But it looks like they're sharing the same force gauge, because you do get force gauge. Like I said, think of it like a limit break. You know, when you get hit or you're doing certain attacks, it's going to increase the gauge. But as Alicia here is getting hit, it's increasing the gauge. It's maxing it out. As you guys can see here, she's getting hit. Boom. And now she's getting hit again. Boom. Now it's maxed. And from here, it looks like, I guess you can interrupt because it looks like Ingram is interrupting this attack from this monster here. Force break, and it's gonna do it. The special. Man, that looks sick. He just walks away as the edit cut. But yeah, man, this is looking really good. I'm just so happy that the game got funded. And it's not only just you know, Armed Fantasia got funded. Like I said, Penny Blood got funded as well. Well, in this video, we're just gonna be focusing on Armed Fantasia. So let's show the campaign. Let's show what they are actually, you know, talking about here in the Kickstarter. So if you guys didn't know, I definitely funded this Kickstarter because yeah, I want to see more games like this come to existence. I don't want these games to go away. So this was an easy you know, backed project for me, especially playing Wild Arms again now and just getting all that nostalgic feeling back. I'm like, damn, man, I wish we could get a new Wild Arms. And here we go, Armed Fantasia. So here's the Kickstarter. They talk about their background as far as, you know, why they're starting the campaign, and it was like, yeah, well, you know, the JRPG genre, they're saying, has been on a decline a little bit, even though I feel like it's kind of peaking back up into its prominence. But you know, they wanted to create a new story or stories within the genre, and you know, bringing back Wild Arms, I think, is something that is definitely needed. So here's a combo meter here, and the game got funded. It went exceeded its goal, so role change system, which is pretty cool. Both funded here. The next one, we got console versions, which got the million that it funded. The next one they're looking at here is New Game Plus. So just to look at the, you know, the campaign here, this was like this got fully funded in like 24 hours. I remember that, like 24 hours it got fully funded. And yeah, it over exceeded its goal of the 700,000 and 13. It over exceeded that like in 24 hours. And then now we're sitting at 1.1 million in just a couple of days. So hopefully by the time, you know, we get to actual date, like September 30th is when we start, you know, charging everyone and anything like that. Hopefully they're beyond the 1.5. My what I will want to happen with this franchise or this game is that a publisher see it, preferably PlayStation, see this and like, you know what, we're going to fully back this. We're going to fully fund this this project. It's coming to PlayStation, it's coming to PC and all that stuff. That's my that I would love for that to happen. But you know, we'll see. They already said that they're going to be doing multiple consoles like Xbox and PlayStation. I don't know if there's going to be a Switch version. Gotta look all the way at the bottom. But hopefully, you know, somebody like PlayStation do fund this, man. Because this is a, you know, these developers, or this developer here, the one we'll focus on, you know, created a PlayStation IP, Wild Arms. Now he had to go outside of the IP to create a new one. You already know the vibes. But the game itself here, here's the back. I love the fact that they have all this stuff ready to go when the Kickstarter started. You know what I mean? Giving us a backdrop as far as like what the story is going to be about. They even have a character breakdowns here. They talking about the settings here. The setting look like Phil Gaia, you know what I mean? But you know, they're gonna call it something different. What's call it? Londinium? They call it something different. It's Phil Gaia, to be honest with you. But they just have a whole bunch of stuff. Ingram's journey would lead him across destinies with many new friends and foes to become embroiled in a monumental battle that strike through Londinium's past and future. So here are the characters here. Like I said, we're focusing on this side, which is Armed Fantasia for this video. We have Ingram Goodweather. He's 17 years old, up and coming Pathfinder. So he pretty much have like what is it called in Wild Arms? Is it Dream Chaser? So a Pathfinder is probably like a Dream Chaser. You know, in the Wild Arms series. Raised in a town filled with people pushing to strike rich. He had to develop street smarts, making him across like someone wise beyond the years. Hopefully he's not like a silent protagonist. I mean, I kind of like my protagonist to be vocal and but I don't mind a silent protagonist, but I would like one to have a little bit more personality. And then we have here is Alicia Fairhead. She is 19 years old, daughter of the leader of Knights of the Order. Pretty, yeah, just looking at the character aesthetics and all that stuff, I can see some knightly order and all that stuff from here. Alicia is steadfast in her duty as a knight to protect peace. She's bright, cheerful personality that gives her an air of, but in battle she is forced to be reckoned with. Tall spear, arms, shield. That series very nice. I'm liking what I'm seeing and hearing from for. And we have I can't pronounce his name properly. I'm always going to mess this up. Euclid Surge, Ingram's best friend, who winds up moving because his family issue, leaving their childhood promise unfilled. In order to keep that said promise, Euclid becomes a Pathfinder. So you got another Pathfinder as well. 18 years old, he tries to handle everything intellectually as possible. He wields a staff type arms, allowing him to fire magical energy to take advantage of. Also, he has an arm as well. So the arm is not like a typical like old school type weapon like a gun, a bazooka, or whatnot. But here he's having like a magical like staff that's considered an arm as well here in this franchise. But yeah, overall, man, the characters look amazing. Armed Fantasia aims for an old school JRPG style, which that allows you to experience the spirit of the adventure, crossing a great expanse and using your wits to cross any obstacle in your path. Yeah, that's so beautiful to hear, man, to be honest with you. Like there's a lot of like old school RPGs that's coming out more on like a lot of the smaller scale side of things. But just to see like, you know, a game like this, you know, coming out in like 2022 that seems to this is a lot of people might look at this, oh, 1 million and 1.1 million, is that huge? That's kind of big for like a JRPG. You know, most JRPGs, I don't think it costs that much to develop like that. And remember, this is splitting between 2 games. But yeah, did they talk about the force break here? Okay, so let's talk about this. And the battles in Armed Fantasia may be turn-based, but they maintain the quick tempo thanks to the cross-order tactic system. Successive characters' action plays a key role in the order chain, and disruptive force break. Oh, so he does disrupt that interrupt enemies' turn. To make your engagement filled with more tension and suspense that will push you to seriously consider your battle strategy. So that's smart. So you can like interrupt enemies now with using your force meter. Maybe that's a thing where you have to be like level 3 to use the force break. But very interesting concept, and I like it a lot. I don't remember something like that in Wild Arms. Like I remember using the force, like, you know, everybody had their own different abilities, or like, you know, like a summon, or, you know, certain like magical attack, or certain like limit break type of attack or weapon type of attack. But never really to interrupt him. I could be missing that. It's been a while since I played like the Wild Arms. Could be forgetting those. But these are the enemies that they were showing in the video here, which is pretty smart. We're not going to go through everything like that, but just wanted to give a proper overview of the campaign and the game, and hopefully this highlights this game for anyone that might be interested or might be hesitant. Like, hey, we're just waiting for it. But yeah, they got some Armed Fantasia music. Not gonna play that. That's for copyright reasons. But nah, man, I'm super happy, and I just want to shout out all of the like RPG fans for supporting this. There's plenty of people I saw on Twitter. Like, yeah, they supporting the series, and they supporting games like this. So in 24 hours, seeing something like this being supported is huge. And hopefully, like I said, a big publisher will set that thing up. But yeah, that is pretty much Armed Fantasia, yo. And yeah, I can't wait for this game to come out. I know it's going to take like a while. I think they have like 2025 on there. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, because just looking at this trailer, it looks like it's pretty good, and development look like it's going pretty well. I mean, for something that's announced in a Kickstarter, this looks like an official like trailer, like a typical game would have. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. Are you guys interested in a game like this, JRPG turn-based style game? Have you played the Wild Arms series? Yeah, let me know in the comment section. This is something that you will back, or it was something that you did back on a Kickstarter. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, man. And hopefully this video highlighted it for you guys to to pique your interest a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. It's your boy Jay Bari. I'm gone. Deuces.